Welcome back to Let's Play Blood Will Tell. Last time we split up from our old buddy Dororo for good.
For good and for reals.
Yeah, there's only one way to go in this mountain pass, so we are following his footsteps anyway. We just don't technically know it.
Well, I mean, he is the main character after all.
The title character. Yeah, he's definitely the main character. But you don't see too often.
In the manga or in the game?
Well, in the game there technically isn't a title character. But, yeah, in the manga's just called Dororo.
Yeah.
But Yaki's still the main character.
See, I've always had the trouble of distinction between title and main character. It's one of that, you know.
Usually it's the same thing, but...
Yeah, because it's so ingrained that you expect it to be one-to-one.
Yeah, in this one rare instance, not the case. Oh, someone put that little door back up after Dororo broke it.
Did he really break it, though, or did it just kind of move for him?
No, he broke that one.
A demon aura. Yet, I also sense a spirit.
I don't think you really needed that spirit sense to see that that was a demon.
Hey, old man.
Just
think I could stay
putting
here?
that out there.
I haven't much to offer.
Yeah, he's sort of obviously evil, but
Thanks.
Yaki's trusting him for the moment.
Please. I wouldn't eat him if I were you. You'll get an upset stomach. For he is the Fiend Slayer, Yakimaru.
What?
If you want fresh meat, eat the child I brought in earlier.
I'm not sure why you're talking about eating a child in front of the famed demon slayer, Yakimaru.
Yeah, that is not a wise move on this guy's part. This guy who's called Redcap in the game, another terrible westernization of the original Japanese name. In the comic, he introduces himself as Shike Nudo, which is a ridiculous pun. It can either mean for become monk, or it's written the same way as Death Monster Monster.
Why?
I'd like to think his name is the latter.
Considering Japanese, yeah, they probably are like, yeah, you know, people will get a kick out of that.
Mm-hmm. Here's his special desperation move, and there it goes.
And he must have been pretty desperate for that attack.
Oh yeah, and he can spam it, which is really annoying, because you can't hit him when he's all of those vermin. But if you kill him all at once, sometimes he just sort of gets stuck as his humanoid form, and you can just tear him apart.
So are you killing them in the time that, like, he's trying to dissipate? Because, like, or are you just kind of like stun locking him before he gets to...
No new body.
I believe I knocked him out of the animation that was going to cause him
Must still be
to
alive.
split into multiple vermin.
Oh, that's kind of weird considering how much this game loves invincibility frames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of the few bosses who doesn't have it during his special attacks.
Huh? Where am I?
Give me your face. Give me your face.
You know, this is actually a common trope with the face stealing, but I have not actually seen a yokai that does this actively.
Yeah, this here is not a typical yokai thing, wearing a coat of faces. It's really more something you would see in Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, there's that guy Sakahagi who does that.
Oh yeah. Have you actually read the books that Shin Megami Tensei is based off of?
Oh, no such luck.
Oh, it's interesting. I'll get you a link later, but yeah, it is. It's actually kind of messed up.
Oh yeah, I should definitely check that out.
It's mostly based off of Norse mythology, actually, which is weird. Oh well, not all of it, but one of the main demons is Loki.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a mishmash of mythologies to begin with, the whole SMT business. Oh, and Dororo section over.
Wow, that was. I shouldn't besmirch such great design here, considering the platforming you generally get to have. So I mean that
Yeah.
probably could have been very hard and challenging.
He must have one of Yaki's body parts. Well, I suppose I can contact Yaki to let him know I found a body part.
Ultraman. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one.
Where are you?
I'm at the waterfall.
Dororo, hang on. I'm coming for you.
And no more Dororo for the rest of this video. Hooray!
Oh, thank God.
I think he's got enough spotlight. And that door was back up. Can't stand for that. I was actually checking to see if a sword had spawned back there, like it's going to do later in the level.
I have a love-hate relationship with triggers. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but you know, you can get something to trigger off of like some stupid crap you did in the game, but like hard triggers like that, where it's just like, yeah, no, nothing's here, and then just eventually later on, oh, something's here, but you're never gonna look either anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's how a lot of the hidden swords are in this game, and it's not usually the best way that I like to find hidden items, so I ignore most of the swords.
Well, most of them probably aren't as good as with 7-body slasher anyway.
Very true. It really is one of the most damaging swords in the game, so I was pretty lucky to get it.
What, if it's not spoilers, is there the most damaging weapon? Like, is there like the ultimate kind of weapon?
There are some very high-tier weapons, way beyond what the 7-body slasher does. There's a whole group of them, though, that are roughly equivalent in power. And I will make sure to show those off eventually.
Alright, that sounds like something fun to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
Because when you made mention of the effects the high-level swords get, I can't imagine that the 7-body slasher is just the end of it.
Not even close. It's pretty much the highest of the, like, normal tier weapons. Then there's just ridiculous overpowered weapons that sort of break the game, and there's a ton of those as well.
You know what I think I've always found funny is, and this is in a lot of games, is that there's a lot. They generally have Tengus as just normal enemies, but they're like one of the most powerful yokai.
Yeah. As was the case there, they were just little chumps that you could shoot down pretty easily.
Like, pretty much, like, Tengus are like, you don't fuck with them because they're pretty much immortal, and...
Yeah, seriously.
And they
But not in video games.
They are the yokai equivalent of the Yakuza. Seriously? You're back?
Prepare yourself.
Why are you still following me?
My only brother. He raised me by himself. I must do this for him. Yakimaru, I must kill you.
Is this the path that you chose? Your brother is dead. You aren't. Don't let his sacrifice go to waste.
It is my choice. You shall pay.
Yeah, Yakimaru's like the opposite of Mondo Zappa. Women are just desperate to try and kill him. Or get killed by him, as is likely the case here. She's learned some new tricks. Which is pretty impressive for the fact that we just saw her a couple seconds ago.
I know, I mean, who would have thought that keeping a knife as close to your body as possible and ramming your whole body into somebody isn't the best way to attack? Just you know, random thought.
Yeah, she only needed her ass kicked once to find that out. So yeah, this is a moderately more difficult fight. Still, her damage is pathetic.
Well, yeah, it's just a knife. It's not gonna do anything. I just can't help but imagine that at the end of this, we're gonna see her at like level 100, doing some fucking Konoichi bullshit that you'd see in like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
If her determination continues the way it has been, yeah, that's a path we're heading on.
I want you to think hard about what your life means to you.
Especially if she has a little bit of help.
You're soft, Yakimaru. And that will be your downfall.
I will now use her as a human shield.
At least she's out of our hair for a little while.
And then we go back for a hidden fiend fight with her.
No such luck. Just a one-up.
Those can work too.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need it. And since I like the environment here so much, I sort of take it slow, kill my way through.
Yeah, this is actually one of the most beautiful snow zones I've seen in the game. It's just...
Yeah, for a PS2 era game, this is incredible.
I mean, in general too. I mean, you don't generally see that sort of stuff unless you're looking at maybe like something like SSX or those snowboarding games, and even then they were kind of that.
Yeah. It's an uncommon thing, and I really, really appreciate it. I love snowy settings in pretty much any genre. Since they're so rare in video games, I really revel in this one.
I wouldn't say so much that they're rare as they are just rarely, well, executed properly.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Oh yeah, when you were fighting her on the ice, was that actually ice physics?
Yeah, there are ice physics. It's a little bit slippery. You're slow to start and stop movement, but it's very unobtrusive the way the combat system works. It's not like you have to be in a precise location to do any sort of attacks, so it really is not an impediment. Just a little change of pace from normal combat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I rather like the ice physics in this game. I usually don't mind ice physics in general, but they're especially not a problem here.
They're generally a problem in momentum-based games, and this is not a momentum-based game.
Yeah, platformers and such. Somehow this Yeti froze me while I was behind him.
Oh, I thought it was the little puddle dude.
Nah, he shoots poison.
Oh.
So I would have been poisoned if I got hit by him. Just a weird hitbox error.
Oh, yeah, because it really looked like whatever that dude was shooting was the dude was what you got hit by.
Yeah, it did. But I keep trying to slice attack these Yetis. This red one, I especially like to do slice attack on because they are full of temporary stat increasing gourds.
Holy crap!
Yeah, they can drop like 3 or 4 of them.
Invincibility, defense up, and attack up? That's ridiculous.
Just light up Yakimaru like a Christmas tree.
The only problem here is that you literally had nothing to use it on. You were seriously menacing those walls.
Oh yeah. I tried to get it on the first guy, but I messed up the slice attack. But yeah, I like to pop those guys every so often, and then go into Berserker Rage for a couple of seconds. Enemy variety is a little bit limited back here.
Oh, there you go. Just square, 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 square.
Yep.
Back to the darkness.
Looked into it, but I didn't get the sword that I wanted from those guys. They've got a +3 Blade of Tears.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't going to be the Spirit Slasher. It was the blade.
Nah.
The blade of your mother's tears.
Precisely, yeah. which probably would have maxed out our HP bar, because it is a huge boost to HP. That's its special ability.
Oh, so does the HP bar, how far does it stretch? Probably not that much further, huh?
Yeah, we're almost there. Probably maybe a quarter farther than it currently is.
Oh, wow, that's still pretty big.
Yeah, it's considerable. And especially when you have Jukai's medicine, it makes you really, really survivable. And these fish enemies, I don't know what they are, I couldn't find out anything about them, but they are specific to the ice, and they're a minor annoyance, but for the most part you can just run past them. Here's a non-hidden fiend battle.
Oh, jeez, is this supposed to be the Thunder God?
Mm-hmm, Raijin.
Oh, wow.
Old Fujin's good friend. And he can be a sort of annoying fight, much like Fujin was.
Oh, but this time it's not optional.
Correct. This is the move that can be very annoying. And the secret to it is that you have to break the camera from locking onto the boss by hitting R3. Then you can run around freely and dodge it, but if it's still locked onto the boss while you're running around, the camera will be changing so much that the direction you're moving will also change, and eventually you will run directly into the boss. Also, he's completely invincible while doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, somebody going, what, like, just completely ball lightning on you? No way, no. Don't even try attacking, because that just seems like the worst idea. Yeah.
So he can spam that, and if he does, this is a very long, very obnoxious fight. Fortunately, he chose not to.
That's good of him.
Yeah, he's doing this move that has a minimum range, so you can just get inside of it and hack him to bits. And he only did the instant speed projectile move one time, because that is pretty much a guaranteed hit as well. Here, I'm going to show off what happens if you don't break the camera from locking onto him.
Oh god.
Just chaos.
Oh god. Oh, this is the worst thing.
Yep.
My sword arms have leveled up.
Yeah, dealt with him handily. Not at all like his fucking windbag friend.
I gotta say though, like, I mean, the yokai have been getting a lot more interesting throughout the whole game, and I hope that it hasn't plateaued from here. I hope it only gets better, because this is, you know, these are actually like way more interesting now. And
I definitely think this chapter has by far the best yokai in the game, or fiends in general. And also, the body parts they give us tend to have huge bonuses. So we're going to be progressing in leaps and bounds throughout the rest of this chapter.
Just gonna get all the muscle parts back, and then Yakimaru's just gonna be like this big, like, hulking Adonis dude.
He actually is in the anime, if you watch that. He is buff as hell. It's really upsetting.
Okay, so we've known about the manga, Dororo. Is the anime also Dororo? Or is that...
The anime, I'm pretty sure it's called Yakimaru to Dororo. So it acknowledges Yakimaru in the title as well.
So wait, Yakimaru with Dororo?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, and it looks like a Saturday morning cartoon because it's got the old Tezuka signature style. But it's also, like, berserk levels of violence.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And my favorite thing by far about the anime is that in it, Yakimaru and Dororo adopt a puppy who wears a hat.
Oh my god, that is the best thing.
Seriously.
I haven't even watched it, but it's my new favorite anime.
I mean, you owe it to yourself to go to animesouls.com and, like, throw $2 at it so that it meets its funding goal so America can finally see it for the first time ever.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Or just watch the 3 episodes that are up there because they're really, really good.
Considering how violent the original source material is, do you think, like, after Astro Boy, he was just like, you know, I'm really sick and tired of the fact that, like, I could only draw cutesy shit. Like, I just want to go ultra-violent just because.
Yeah, he actually did go a lot darker from Dororo on. Like, he's got a story called MW about a guy who has no conscience whatsoever and just seeks out power. And he has a book that's literally called The Book of Human Insects.
Sounds morbid as hell.
Like, he got really, really dark, and it's really awesome. He's an excellent writer. Or you can just stick to the twisted stuff that's still intended for children and vaguely appropriate for them.
Vaguely.
It will grow hair on their chest, though. Regardless of gender.
Oh yeah. You gotta wonder, like, when, especially actually even now, if you look at some of the older stuff that we used to watch, like, how the hell was this intended for children?
Yeah, modern day children's entertainment has gotten really toothless, but stuff from the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of it was pretty cool. Still watchable these days.
Look, I'm just saying, I've learned life skills watching Ren and Stimpy. I know not to whiz on the electric fence.
There's went through Yaki's thought bubbles for a second there.
Oh man, that was some straight up Doom level writing. I must stop the demons. I have to save Dororo. No, Yaki. You are the demon.
Yeah, unfortunately after that one bit of excellent writing and acting in the beginning of this stage, it sort of goes back to normal.
Pretty much.
It's also interesting to see the anime for the voice acting, because it actually gives Yakimaru a bit more, you know, emotion and passion in the Japanese voice track, which I really wish I could listen to the Japanese voice track for the game, but it's not on the disc.
Generally the sound is what takes up most of the data in most games.
Yeah. If only I could get the Japanese voice cast as DLC, like in Lightning Returns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd sort of kill for the typical Japanese overacting, as opposed to boring old Chris Murphy.
It's such a shame.
But that's another cool thing about the anime. Here's a interesting little set piece.
Sure is a switch.
Yeah, we can't quite press it down though. It's as though that camera angle was giving us a hint.
If only you had 2 Yakimarus.
This guy is gonna pay off pretty nicely. Look at that.
Berserk mode.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
They put all these enemies on the steps to be an annoyance and continuously knock you off of them. But now I'm invincible and have max damage and full defense, so they're not doing shit. And what I want to do while I'm in this little cave area is grind up a full bar of spirit gauge. So that's what this guy with all the health is going to be good for.
We're gonna be fighting a pretty annoying boss, aren't we?
We're going to be fighting a very serious boss. And I'm actually looking forward to it. It's probably my favorite hidden fiend in the game. But we must prepare.
It's the yokai with an eye in its anus, isn't it?
That most certainly would not be my favorite enemy in the game.
Well, it's the most serious one. Let's be honest here.
Yes, but all the censorship I'd have to do.
Oh God.
Splatterhouse was bad enough.
Yeah.
So now I'm freshly saved, full bar, switched over to the Firestorm Spirit Attack. And the last step is to leap from this balcony onto the switch.
Oh my goodness.
That summons this guy.
What the even... What?
Yeah, speaking of Shin Megami Tensei, it's like a cybernetic minotaur.
Minotaur?
Super Shin Megami Tensei.
Holy crap. Thinking more Anubis, but yeah, holy crap. This thing's actually really awesome. It's probably the most aggressive.
Yeah, and did you see his level? He's level 46. We are ludicrously outclassed here.
Oh, I bet.
Now, the thing that makes this such a great fight, even though it's just way, way more powerful than us, just sickening amounts of damage with every hit, is the fact that its attacks are patterned such that it's a challenge to dodge all of them, but it's never unfair. If you get hit, it is entirely your own fault. And it's exactly what I would ask for in a boss fight.
Yeah, it seems like it only has 2, maybe 3 attacks.
Yeah, it has, I think, 4. It does a leaping thing, it does these shoulder lasers, it does the charge, and then if you get really close, it does a swing with its trident.
Oh, there's the leapy thing.
Yeah. It had only done that to get away from us previously, but it is an attack.
This is an awesome boss.
Really, really phenomenal, and it's a really tense fight. I've never successfully beaten it without using a 1-up. And that includes this time.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had to load up on my cannon shells, of course, because they're what's doing the most damage of anything. Even the Firestorm is pretty lightweight here. But his weak spot seems to be either his head or his shoulders, and hitting those does really good damage with the cannon. Also, the cannon can knock him out of the charging animation, leave vulnerable again. So yeah, my first time through this stage, I just sort of randomly stumbled into this fight. I thought it would be pretty cool to jump on the Switch, and it summoned a fiend who turned out to be twice my level, and I barely edged him out in a really, really lengthy fight.
That's the kind of fight that you really like.
Exactly, it's perfectly balanced for an action game. I mean, nowhere near as complicated as your typical Devil May Cry sort of boss fight, but the same level of satisfaction that you would get from that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same level of weird complexity that crap gets you.
Yeah, and I love my Devil May Cry boss fights, but this is on par, no question. Now he's certainly evasive. He puts himself in an ideal position, and there was his desperation attack.
Was this the first time we've ever seen you do a 1-up?
No, I've used one before. The Night Terror killed me the first time I fought him.
Oh, right.
Back in Chapter 2, yeah. Really, the 1-ups are placed in such a way that you get 100 Jukai's medicine right around the time that you fight a really serious boss fight who's going to take that 1-up away from you.
That's really good design.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's punishing enough that you should at least know by the first death, this is what you gotta do to fight him.
Yeah.
If you haven't learned by the second one, well,
you probably deserve to die.
Pretty much.
Now, there is a Japanese yokai called the Ushi-Oni, who's sort of the Japanese equivalent of a minotaur. And it comes in many forms. None of them really appear anything like this, as far as I can tell. So, either they were going for a Western minotaur sort of thing, or I don't know. It is kind of a dog-like head, now that you mention it.
But then you get with the trident too, and like that just kind of throws you off.
Yeah. I'll just call it Gozu and be done with it. After a very lengthy battle, we've almost got him done with. I switched to the sword arm so that I can do lots of attacks really quickly and maybe finish him off with a spirit attack. Because even the 7-body slasher wasn't doing significant damage.
At this point, I thought you always just wanted to try to kill the monsters with the cannon, but...
I just do that to show off.
I was about to say, you tend to do that just like with every yokai, but not this one.
Yeah. He deserves better. And what does he give us?
The pelvis.
Oh yeah. Now we can pelvic thrust, because we earned it.
You know, just gotta go and take a jump to the right.
And that's the end of this video. Next time we'll be fighting a lot more fiends.